What's up, dude? I thought I'd just send you this video instead of, sending you a text or an email. Just kind of sharing my thoughts with you for whatever they're worth. Okay, so the kids ministry that rocks in the age of quarantine. Yeah, so I mean, I get all the setbacks, but I am, I'm on the bandwagon that says, that we can turn this into a positive. I mean, I think just the the pandemic shook everything up, right? And kids ministry was not immune to being impacted by this. And so, yeah, I get the budgets. I get the lack of kids. The lack of volunteers. We had a lot of volunteers that took a break, and we're still waiting on some of our volunteers to come back. So that's been a struggle. And our kids the numbers are coming back up of kids, but we need more volunteers. So, but okay, because of all this, we've enhanced our online presence for kids, preschoolers, and K through fifth during the week. So they've got that for families that want to stay home and all that. And I think that's been cool, and we're going to keep doing that. So that's been a plus. We would not have done that if it had not been for the pandemic. So that was definitely a plus. I think it's caused us to, when the kids are not here, we can't just focus on here at church. We've got to think outside the walls. And even though we did that before, not to this degree. And so, we've been intentional about, we had our kids ministry is called Epic Kids Ministry. So we've had yard signs made saying an Epic family lives here. And we've gone to our family's homes and put that in their yard. We've gone to visit and given them gifts and all that kind of stuff, and stuff in the mail that we've sent out to them. It's caused us to come to them, which I think has been really neat, to send them texts, Facebook messages, emails, all that kind of stuff, just checking in on them. And so I think that's been good for us because it forces us to want to go out, right? I think it's also been good for the families because we didn't have to do that stuff, but we did it. Why? No one was telling us to do it. We weren't forced to do a lot of the things that we did. We did it because we love these families. So they saw us show them love, and I think it helped them realize, man, church, like these people really do love us. And so I think that that's been powerful. And even though some of those families aren't back yet, I think they will be when they're ready. And if not, you know what? They're watching online and they're watching our online stuff. So they're still connected and they're still hearing from us, and we still get to love on them. So I think as far as budgets and all that kind of stuff, yeah, I mean, we've seen some of that as far as some budget cuts and all that. But we were already, really frugal with what we spent before and really thinking through, is it worth it? But this is taking us to a whole nother level of what we're spending money on and really looking at what is the payoff for the church. And so is it worth it, right? And so the intentionality there has gotten even stronger. So I think we've been made stronger as a church collectively because of the pandemic. And I think that we're going to see the uptick within the next year, and I think we'll all be better for it. And so I think it's caused us to rethink everything. So we were gone for so long and shut down that we all had time to really think through, how do we do this Kids Men thing? Like, it gave us some white space to think and to dream. And yes, it was nerve-wracking too. And are we gonna have jobs in the future? And are we gonna have anybody show up to church ever again? But the flip side of that was it gave us time to kind of reset some things, and that's been kind of fun. And yeah, and I think too, just even the thought of, will your church get through this? Kind of lit a fire under, I think, a lot of people, not just in kids ministry, just churches in general, of like, we got to wake up. I think some churches that were sleepy and they were just kind of in a rut and in a mode, it devastated all of that. And I think that's been really good for the church. So I think it's true for kids ministry as well. Okay, so partnering with parents beyond take-home resources. And so really looking at parents, like valuing them, not as obstacles. And really, I mean, the take-home tools are great. Those are cool. I think a minority of parents actually use the take-home tools, and the ones that want it, those take-home tools are great. And, a lot of different curriculums do a good job of take-home tools. And so that's awesome to offer that. I think most parents, more than take-home tools. Number one, I mean, they want to know that their kids are safe and they are being loved in those ministries. So expressing that especially during the when a new family comes, getting them registered and loving on them well, getting to know them, and starting to build that relationship and trust there. And every Sunday at pickup and drop off, making it more than just dropping off the kid, but having interactions there, making it more than just picking up your child and here's a take-home tool, but hey, I'm gonna make an intentional effort to try to get to know you more. Hey Pete, yeah, here comes Zach. Hey Zach, did you have fun? Cool. So how does Zach doing this, with soccer? I heard he won his game. That's cool, or how's work going? Or how's the family? Man, thank you so much for allowing us to invest in your kids. And just here's a take-home tool. That's great. And if you want to use it, that's an awesome resource. But if not, just using that time to kind of interact with them, and doing that week after week, you start to build that connection. And another thing that that we try to do is with our families is try to connect with them on social media as soon as possible and try to get to know them that way, and then they get to know us that way too, and that trust is built there. So I mean, I think that number one, more than a take-home tool, is that they want to know that their kids are loved. And then are they loved? Are the parents loved? Are we showing love and respect to them as well, and showing that we value them just through interactions, right? And I think, yes, they do care about what their child's learning. That's true, and that's very important. But I think the love part is more important. So it's just making sure that at every interaction point on a Sunday or a Wednesday night or at a family event or whatever, that we hyper focus on making sure that each interaction point is expressing value to the parents, and that goes beyond what they're being handed or an email they get once a month. And all those things are great, but and then going beyond that as soon as you can to being sure that the staff and the volunteers are being intentional about connecting with the parents through a Facebook message, just a one-on-one. How are you doing? How's everything going? How's your kid enjoying himself? Is there any way that I can help? Or can we connect sometime, grab some coffee? Whether that be Facebook message or on Instagram or a text message or an email that's a direct email, so that personal connection. Because not only do the parents want their kids to be loved, they want to feel loved and valued, right? And they want their kid to learn the right stuff, right? That's really important. But they need to know that they're not alone and that we're a resource. And so once we build that relationship and that trust, then we can go beyond a simple take-home tool, again, which is valuable, but to help a kid who's ready to be baptized, but the parents don't know how to explain that process to their child, or they don't know if their child's ready, or talk about salvation, or their child's acting out, or the parents are, their parents are about to, they're about to get a divorce. I mean, and they know that they trust us enough to come to us and say, hey, help, like I need help. And so, it is, I think, as simple as when I'm reading this statement to this group, I mean, it's not rocket science. It's just making sure that at every interaction point that we're intentionally, we got people in place, staff and volunteers that know how to express love and value at those interaction points. When a family first comes in, whoever that team is that's handling registration, they need to be able to express love and to show how they value the individuals and build relationships, and that pickup and drop off, have the right people in those areas, and have the right leaders walking around and talking and mingling and just trying to build those connection points, and then also listen to the kids, like what's going on. They'll tell you anything, right? And so it might be something really cool happening, and little Zach tells you about, my daddy got a new job, he loves it. And then when you see him at drop off or pick up, like, dude, I heard about the new job, that's so cool, like, tell me about it. But also the bad stuff. Like this past Sunday, I had a little girl come to me, and she just said, Pastor Adam, I'm really sad. That's what she said. She said, I'm really sad. I said, do you want to talk about it? She said, yeah. So I took her to the side, and we were still in an open room with everybody else. We sat down, and all the other kids were playing, and she started squalling. She was telling me about some stuff happening in her house. So this week I'm going to reach out to the dad and just check in on him. How are you doing? And letting them know that, hey, we're here for you. We love you. And I think that's what parents need more than anything else, is to feel loved and valued, and to know that we truly do care about them, and that we are a resource beyond a monthly email or a take-home tool, that we are a place you can come, that we don't have all the answers, but we can come link arms with you and listen. And maybe we've gone through some of those experiences we can share with you, and that they know that they're not alone in this thing called parenting. I hope that helps, man. I rambled a lot. Love you.